What's up guys, Mystic Umbreon here, and around 21 years ago, the Pokemon anime debuted on our TV screens where we got introduced to its main protagonist, Ash Ketchum. Everybody has at least heard this boy's name once. He's that iconic in the Pokemon franchise. However, if you're a regular viewer to the Pokemon anime, do you truly believe you know everything when it comes to this character? Because for today's of PAT, Pokemon Anime Trivia, Entity thought it would be a great idea for me to go over all the most interesting trivia revolving around this character, to truly test your knowledge on his character and even inform people who want to learn more about his character. Without any further ado though, let's jump into this trivia. First of all, we're going to start by jumping into the basics. Ash Ketchum, or known as Satoshi in the Japanese dub, or Sacha in the French dub, is the main character of the Pokemon anime, and also the main character of various manga based on the anime, most notably the Electric Tale of Pikachu. Ash shares his Japanese name Satoshi with the creator of the Pokemon franchise, Satoshi Tajiri, and his English name Ash is based on one of the three options for one's name in Pokemon Blue, Red, and Yellow, and his last name Ketchum is a pun of the Pokemon franchise motto, gotta catch 'em all. Ash as a character though is a Pokemon trainer from Palatown in the Kanto region, whose goal is to become a Pokemon Master. It's never been officially stated in the anime how one attains the title of a Pokemon Master, however Entity will be leaving a video in the description below which provides all the evidence to suggest what a Pokemon Master actually is. Go check it out after this video. But what I can say here is that Ash at least needs 8 gym badges from whatever region so he can participate in the Pokemon League, the league being one step closer to becoming Pokemon Master. So far, Ash has traveled through the Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, and Kalos regions, successfully managing to obtain 8 gym badges from each of those regions. However, unfortunately, Ash has never been able to win a Pokemon League so far. He placed in the top 16 during the Indigo League, top 8 during the Silver, Evergrande, and Virtus League, top 4 during the Lily of the Valley League, and finally placed as the runner-up at the Lumiose League. The poor guy keeps on trying and yet failing. Along Ash's journey too, he's been able to capture a total of 70 Pokemon. 30 of them, however, are Tauros, but the rest are all different species with their unique personalities and strength. When it comes to Ash's personality, he is shown to be generally kind, compassionate, and brave, but can also be stubborn, hot-headed, short-tempered, impatient, reckless, and impulsive at times even. But this is all because he is very determined to become a good Pokemon trainer. Ash shows a lot of sympathy towards Pokemon too, usually helping and befriending Pokemon he meets along his journey. In fact, if a Pokemon is in trouble, he'll make every effort to help them, even if he has no prior connection to them. This showcasing Ash's strong will of justice as well. This is best shown in almost every Pokemon movie where Ash helps save the day from whatever legendary Pokemon goes on a rampage. He is even a role model to many people such as May and N. Ash's strategy is problem-solving a Pokemon battle, including thinking on his feet during a special match. His tactics throughout many episodes involve problem-solving battle issues and anything that relates to the Pokemon's special abilities. Even having inputs from his friends has helped Ash whenever he's stuck. Ash's biggest fear is losing anyone he's really close to, such as friends and family, but fears losing his Pokemon family even more, due to the many times Team Rocket tries to steal his Pikachu or puts them in danger. Sometimes Ash even fears his Pokemon would leave him because he didn't meet their expectation or wasn't strong enough for them. This even results in Ash sometimes doubting his Pokemon's potential, which also affects his faith and trust in them as well. The biggest examples of this are his Greninja and Lycanroc, but eventually he overcame this and they became some of the most powerful Pokemon Ash ever had, and even shares a never-ending bond with them. To learn more about Ash's overall journey so far and more personality traits, I believe it's best if we now start from the very beginning of this character's journey, with his childhood. Believe it or not, there's a chapter in a book titled Pocket Monsters, The Animation, The Secrets of the Pokemon Anime, where the former head writer of the anime, Takashi Shido, explains the kind of childhood Ash had, which unfortunately for various reasons could not have been shown on screen in the Pokemon anime yet. This could be canon to his overall story. Takeshi explains that Ash was a very lively and naughty child. In fact, he loved playing around and causing mischief. His mother Delia, who was the only parent he lived with, told him off when he was causing too much trouble, but she never forced him to focus on his studies he received from his primary school in Palatown. Ash became rebellious for the first time around the age of 3. In order to keep him quiet, Delia often pretended to cry. However, Ash was also a very sweet child, so on one occasion, Delia ended up crying for real because she kept thinking that she was a very young single mother, but Ash immediately stopped making trouble and approached his mother simply asking her, quote, "Mommy, what's wrong? Are you okay?" Which this gesture made Delia feel reassured. At school though, it's revealed that the bullies picked on Ash. Not allowing himself to get bullied, he got the teachers and the bullies' father to tell them off. And one day the problem of bullying was finally fully resolved by Delia, who talked to the bullies' fathers and urged them to solve their conjugal problems. This resulted in having a happier family, and bullies stopped gradually targeting Ash. It's also revealed that Ash always played alone while having fun with rather dangerous games, such as climbing trees and ascending from hills on wooden boards. He also loved fishing and hunting insects. We even see in episode 121 of the X and Y series, Ash was having fun in the forest, but eventually it started raining and he had no idea how to get back home. But a bunch of Pokemon kept him warm from the cold outside, which this event started to make Ash admire Pokemon more than ever before, and made him think about how he wanted to become a Pokemon trainer when growing up. Despite those activities and events in episode 121, Ash has claimed many times that he hates loneliness, describing it as, quote, very hard or suffering, which this makes it clear that in his childhood Ash felt quite alone, although he always hid his sadness. Moving on, Ash had quite interesting relationships with characters during his childhood. For instance, Ash could not stand the character Gary, but at the same time he didn't give too much weight to his attitudes because in a way, he was quite sympathetic towards him. Quote, Gary is a self-centered jerk who looked down on others just because he's a member of the Oak family. His lineage is all he has going for him, yet he's still full of himself. However, it must be tough having to live up to your ancestors. That's what Ash thought in regards to Gary, and we even got to see Ash's frustration with Gary grow throughout the entirety of the original series. In fact, in episode 269 of the original series, Ash recalled the day when he was about to start his Pokemon journey. He and Gary both fished in a Pokeball, which snagged on both their lines. After arguing about who kept it, they broke it in two, each keeping one half as a reminder of that day, the day where their rivalry as Pokemon trainers truly began. Going back to the book, it stated that Ash seemed to be quite fond of his father, although little was known about Ash's father in the anime. Occasionally, Ash would ask, "Where is Dad? What's he doing now?" Which Delia couldn't answer these questions as she didn't know what he was up to these days. So she merely told him that he was an extraordinary Pokemon trainer, until one day in which Ash was 5 years old, she has been forced to confess to having him told many lies, because no one had ever heard anything about Ash's father, so no one knew if he actually became a good trainer. That same day, a computer was given to Ash through which he could have verified through the internet if his father had been successful as a trainer, but unfortunately he couldn't find anything. However, Ash was never shocked by his father's absence thanks to his strong feelings. Takeshi also explained that Ash's character now would probably be different if he had known his father his entire life. And finally, for Ash's childhood relationships, as revealed in episode 7 of the X and Y series, he actually met one of his later traveling companions, Serena, when they were only young at a summer camp. Ash had helped Serena with an injured leg thanks to his friendly personality, and then Serena actually developed a crush on Ash, which we would see more of that both when they grew up. That ends off Ash's childhood. As seen in episode 1 of the Pokemon anime though, Pokemon I Choose You, we see Ash begin his Pokemon journey at the age of 10 years old, as a warm-hearted and well-intended but stubborn, rash, and amateur Pokemon trainer. He was forced to accept the stubborn Pikachu from Professor Oak as a starter Pokemon because he woke up late on the day he was set to get his first Pokemon. He was determined to achieve his goal, and when Pikachu saw that he was willing to compromise his own safety to keep it safe, the two of them had formed a strong bond that has been noticed and remarked upon by many characters in the anime. This unbreakable friendship would set his course for the future to develop his character's personality to what we see it as today, and even his overall performance as a Pokemon trainer. He went from being that stubborn, rash, and amateur Pokemon trainer in the original series to a mature, decent Pokemon trainer in the Advanced Generation series, even defeating the legendary Pokemon Articuno and Regice, to a very skilled and mature Pokemon trainer in the Diamond and Pearl series, defeating a Darkrai and Latios, and even training with the Elite Four members. Ash's character getting reset in the Black and White series became a stubborn, rash, and amateur Pokemon trainer again, thanks to the Pokemon franchise wanting to reboot during Generation 5. However, Ash became as skilled as his Diamond and Pearl self once again in the XY series, where he got the special ability with his Greninja as well. As for Sun and Moon Ash, we just have to wait and see how he's developed or underdeveloped from his X and Y self, although it's looking promising that he's doing actually pretty well. He raised the Solgaleo and Poipole, while also owning a rare Lycanroc form. As for other achievements Ash has earned outside of gym badges, trials, and defeating legendary Pokemon, Ash has saved the world many times, proved to be kind of immortal with how many times he's come back to life after dying, met every single legendary and mythical Pokemon so far, traveled through Ultra Space and captured multiple Ultra Beasts as an Ultra Guardian, became the Orange Island champion, earned himself the 7 Frontier symbols along with an offer to become a Frontier Brain himself, and winning hundreds of other Pokemon competitions we see in filler episodes. Ash is truly a good Pokemon trainer. I bet some of you watching this video right now are wondering, why have I not talked about Bond Phenomenon, Aura, and other skills Ash has attained? And that is because Entity has already made a PAT episode on those skills. Link will be in the description, iCard, and end card. A new interesting thing to note when it comes to Ash's everyday skills though, is that in the Pokemon Sun and Moon series, he can actually cook, wash up, do laundry, and much more basic everyday tasks, whereas in the older series of the anime, Ash relied on his companions to do this stuff for him. You can easily figure this out by watching the anime, but if you need any more evidence, in an interview with the director Daiki Tamiyasu for Animage, he stated the following quote, "Ash's growth point in this series will be his daily life chores that he had to rely on his companions in the past. such as cooking, washing, and many more. Serena, Bonnie, and Clement did all this in XYZ and Ash didn't. Can he not grow from XYZ? So I guess this could be added onto the list of Ash's skills and even development, seeing that he's maturing as a character as well. It's even stated that this director wanted to surpass X, Y, and Z's Ash's development as a character. Entity shall speak more about this interview in another particular video, namely trivia on the Pokemon Sun and Moon series.
And that ends off today's episode of Pat. Huge thanks to Mr. Gombrion for coming on to host. If you enjoyed this video, then please be sure to consider leaving a like, a share, and if you're new here, a subscribe along with hitting that bell icon to stay in loop with all things Pokemon anime related. And if you enjoy listening to Mr. Gombrion, then be sure to head over to his channel where he makes all sorts of Pokemon related content. For now though, we shall see you all later. Thank you for watching.